Hey guys, welcome to the Good Energy Healing Club. Thanks for being here today. I am interviewing, this is a special episode. I'm very excited, and I'm interviewing Scarlet Keys, who you may have heard me talk about. She did an amazing TEDx talk in Portsmouth, kind of knocked it out of the park and let it become global. I'm going to have questions for her about how you do a TED talk and how you get your people to involve a piano. But this is Scarlet, and also I'm not here to promote a book. I'm here to talk to you about a book I love, and I happen to have the author here. Um, Scarlett, anyone who knows what I do, I usually have a resource every week just because I think it's nice to have these, you know, so people genuinely want to know what I'm reading, and I genuinely want to know what other people are reading. So, guys, right now I'm reading this book. Scarlett sent it to me. It just was released. I pre-ordered it, which is one of the benefits of pre-ordering a book from an author that you love. Highly recommend that. So am I going to have questions for you, Scarlett? Yes, I am. But mostly just thank you for taking time out of your beautiful life to meet with us. I am always talking about what I'm learning in sessions, the work that I'm doing, my evolution. And it's pretty cool to be able to add somebody to that conversation.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I wanted to like jump to right away is this is called the Good Energy Healing Club. I named it. You're a wordsmith. Is that the word for songwriter? Like word, you work with words, right?
Yeah.
So I called this club the Good Energy Healing Club because it breaks down really well. It's the good, it's the energy, it's the healing, it's the good energy, it's the energy healing. And then the club thing is like, I don't know, just like feeling comfortable with your people, like you reserve time for yourself, for your people. But I wanted to talk about the good energy that is so well implicit to your your storytelling, your TED talk that you did, where you were able to describe that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but you were able to describe that everything is good as long as we allow ourselves to kind of be in that vibration, like the good energy of feeling. By everything, I mean the emotions, the experiences, the challenges. That's one of the things I take from you. And I believe so deeply in the arts because I think the arts transform everything to the good. I don't mean like shiny, happy, superficial. I mean that deeper good. And that's one of the things I was just wanted to talk to you as like somebody who's so familiar with energy healing, but you do this whole other energy healing of the arts. Do you feel like the arts are a form of energy healing?
I do because I feel like they're alchemistic. We take this hurt or this wound or this sadness and we start to put words to it, and then we start to amplify it with music. Anyway, in my case, songwriting. And then on the other side of it, we've sort of reconfigured it into something we understand and can move on from,
Mm,
or even or understand.
yeah, and that it all lands for us so personally, but so collectively as well with music.
Yeah.
We can all dance. It matters to us for different reasons, but we're dancing to the same music or we're swaying to the same music. It just that always just it's a phenomenal transformation of energy that I see around the arts, around music in particular. As I was preparing for this talk with you, well, it wasn't preparing, but you'll not, nobody listening, and you won't be surprised to know that I was with a client yesterday and we were talking about music therapy in hospitals. And I remembered that I was at Mass General Hospital, and it was a student from the Berkeley School of Music, where you are a professor, correct?
Yeah.
Came in with her harp. And
Mm.
that was like by far the most beautiful experience I've ever had in a hospital. And to all of the things that you teach us about, it was also maybe the hardest day of my life, one of the hardest days of my life. And also the harp, the student, it was a student, I believe. The approach, my mother's approach to it was just amazing. And then just to make it a little bit more about me for a second, I was doing the work yesterday and that energy of harp came in to support another client. And I got a message from my mom, who gets messages from their mom from the other side. So I don't know, is it an energy field? Is it from my own genetics? Is it from my memory? I'll never know. It doesn't matter, but it was beautiful. And if it was such a mother thing to say, which was like, Hillary, you needed that more than I did.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you needed you needed the harp. You needed me to play the harp. You needed the student to play the harp more than I did. Because look at you, Hillary, you're still thinking about it 8 years later. My big question is, who are these people from your school coming over to the hospitals playing harps? Do you know these people, these angels, literal angels?
I may have known her. And, the other day an old friend of mine, I ran into her and she told me her mom had just passed away. And, I was saying to her that, when we're going through hard times or we're going through grief, like the people that we think or want to get us through might not be the people that show up and get us through, but
You
that
write about that in your book too. Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
always sent someone, and it might be someone we least expect. And she said, those are angels cloaked in humanity. And I thought, oh, I really want to steal that. So I'm stealing that. I loved that, right? People will say it's God with skin on, which I think angels cloaked in humanity is just really the way that I want to say that.
Those
And
are
I
both good terms. I haven't heard either of them. I love those both. Yeah.
And so I might have had that harpist in one of my classes, because I did have one in my songwriting class, and every day that she would show up with that huge harp, I would always make sure she got to perform, because that was a lot of effort to bring a harp. But yeah, there's a whole music therapy program, and there's something about the vibration of music live in the room, feeling those vibrations. Listening to music is still good, but if it's CD or MP3, the sound has been so squashed and flattened to be able to fit those formats that we don't have the full like range of the vibration as we do when it's live. And I just feel like I was talking to someone recently about aliens, or if aliens came here, they would just think, what are they doing? And I said, however, I think they would be really impressed with our art. I think that they would go, okay, hold on, what's this music thing? What's this art thing? So I don't know. To me, anytime there's been a hard thing and I'll see a sculptor create something that just completely encompasses that in a sculpture, my soul connects with it, and I just go, oh yeah, that's right. Or if it's a painting, I go, yeah, that there's just something that music, art, it just connects. Poetry, I just feel it in my soul, and I feel like it's the divine. I really do. I just feel like art is if we can be the lightning rod, we can capture that special
Yeah.
thing that wants to be written or wants to be danced or wants to be painted.
I often reference a book called The Power versus Force by David Hawkins, not to be confused with Stephen Hawkins. And he measured like the megahertz, correct me if I'm using the wrong term, but he measured the vibrations of different emotions. It goes so it goes so hand in hand with the chapter I'm reading right now for you about it was it's the good, you've got this chapter called Good Vibes Only, which is, to understand different emotions, feel them, and then what's the difference. It's all beautiful. Anyway, back to your point.
Mhm.
He talks about the lower vibrations, nothing wrong with them, but they're not very helpful. So there's nothing wrong with shame, but they are considered lower vibrationally.
Right.
But the highest vibration above love and joy, right? That's way up there, is actually a vibration called enlightenment, which doesn't sound like an emotion. And it vibrates to the essence of the ineffable. One of my favorite words.
Mm.
And when you kept pointing to your heart and what you see on the wall and the music, I've also noticed that people who get to the very, very top of their game, like let's say they made a lot of money in finance, in the oil commodities or something, what do?
They buy art.
They buy art, they get to the arts, they collect art.
Yeah.
And to be fair, sports. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they enjoy sports and they like, which is kind of the art of the human. It's an athletic art, right? But it's a different, but it's a beautiful music in its own. I have a special place in my heart for the space we give to sports. So maybe the aliens would say yes to the sports as well. Like look at what they're doing. This is amazing. What are they doing?
Right,
I
because
mean,
it's if I think about football, it's like, oh, okay, now all the men are they're hugging,
yeah,
they're patting each other, they're and then now they're not isolated, they're part of something bigger than themselves, right?
they shake hands after the battle.
Yeah.
Um, I oftentimes will say my favorite part is reaching when somebody falls and somebody reaches up and helps them. The best is when somebody from the other team reaches and helps them. I mean, that to me is like, oh, that's amazing. I want to be aware of time. Everyone is this is like a bonus session that I'm doing on Monday night. And so I want to take full advantage of having you here. So, couple of things. I just have to ask because everyone's going to have watched your TED Talk or they're going to run and watch your TED Talk after this. Just a tactical question. How hard was it for you to get the TED Talk people or the TED Talk program to include a piano? I've never seen a piano or really musical instrument in TED Talks, and I've watched quite a few. What was that like to say, I need a piano to illustrate my point?
Uh, yeah, I think we were talking about what the big idea would be, which is part of the first, we're trying to figure out what is worthy of a TED Talk and what meets the criteria. And I always like to think about what's in it for the audience. What are they
Yep.
going to learn or walk away from with? And obviously, for me to sort of explain music and how I think about music, I really couldn't do it without a piano. And I could have done it with a little keyboard, but luckily for me, the person that was heading up TED said, "Let me see if we can get you a grand piano." And it cost $600 to rent. I mean, they did that with their budget, which was just amazing. It was wonderful. So it really wasn't hard. But I did say I really would like to have an instrument. And I don't think it would have had the same effect with a little with a
Like
little Casio up on stage. So it was really nice to have that piano.
elegant,
Yeah.
well worth it. What
Yeah.
worth it for? I got to watch it live in person. And then I got to watch it on the screen, so I get to see all the angles. It's a similar, but I spent the TED Talk for those of you who are going to watch it on the screen to be in the room to hear the sound of the grand piano and the vibration of your story, and for that matter of the way your book ended with like a lot of other beautiful storytelling, but they didn't involve a piano. So you were like a you were there's no comparison, right, Scarlett? It's just the whole vibe of who's going to show up to listen to TED Talks all day. That's a really high vibration.
Yeah.
And then you brought some music in right when we needed music, and it was a generous audience. Would you agree?
Yeah, I felt like I think most audiences want to like us. They want us to do well. They're there for us.
It's awesome.
And I really felt like, I knew a few people in the area in the audience. So I did feel like, okay, I've got like family in the front row. They weren't family, but they felt like family. And you were there. And
Yep.
it was really a good feeling in that room. 900 people. Like it felt really good.
Oh yeah, it felt like 9,000 people and everybody was with you. It was so beautiful. And I mean, can you be proud of your friends? Because I was proud. I was so proud of you. I was so proud of you. And I hadn't seen the rehearsal. So I was taking it in and I was loving it. And then I was like, I know her, you know. So that experience, I'm checking in. I like to check in energetically to see kind of what theme is coming up. And it feels like the theme is about being able to sort of I'm hearing like the ineffable, being able to communicate the ineffable with our hearts through screens when necessary, the importance of live. I'm holding back on saying something, so now I'm going to say it. There's an app called Shazam. You must be familiar with it. Okay. So those that was developed out of MIT, and I'm proud to say I happen to know some of the people who are on the team that developed that Shazam. And if you don't know this, I would be surprised if you didn't know it, but if you don't know it, I'm about to give you a real gem that you can give to your students.
Okay.
Shazam does not work with live music.
Oh, I didn't know
Shaz-
that.
so to anyone else out there listening, Shazam is an app where you can hold it up in a noisy restaurant and you can pick out which hollow notes you think you is this hollow notes or is this like Chopin? Like you can't quite, it's very hard, but the app can decipher what it is, even I like to say even in a noisy restaurant. But certainly if you're just standing in the grocery store and you like the song, you're like, I like the song, I want to know what song it is, or I can't remember the name of it. You turn on the app and it listens like a pulse. It goes like boom, boom, boom. And then it tells you like it's Alicia Keys, like it tells you who it is. And it's very, I think it's pretty cool. I couldn't imagine in a million years that it wouldn't work at a concert
Mm.
because yeah, I would say, well, isn't what we're hearing through our phone the same as what we're hearing through amplification? And the answer was no. When it becomes put onto a screen or a electronified, it's broken down into bits, and we lose an element where the robot can't understand it, and so the robot actually won't hear the live music,
Mm.
and so there's your ineffable that
Yeah.
belongs to us.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need to differentiate that moving forward in life for the new generation. Just know that like what is live, we we can sense, we still have sensors that other programs don't have.
Right. Right.
Isn't that cool?
It is. And it's like being in the room with someone versus being on screen. It's nice to see someone, but to be in the room again with people, it just feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little bit more time with you. I hope that's okay. Can I take
Yeah.
like 10 more minutes?
Whatever you need.
Um, in your book, I'm reading it. By the way, just okay, just between you and me and anyone who's listening, thank you. Because like I love me a book where you can get through a couple of you can get the sense of satisfaction reading a couple of pages. And it's the way I wrote my book, and you did it. And it's there's some books that we get lost in, but when it comes to a book about what if it all goes right and we just need a little extra. So I'm reading it, I'm enjoying it, and also I knew I was going to talk to you today, so of course I'm reading it a little bit more today. Like I'm like, what am I going to do this morning? I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the book, and that's how I'm going to
Thank
prepare.
you.
But
Thank you.
it's like it's a no-brainer, right? And then I had, several things happen to me already, but I felt by several things like curveballs, people in moods,
Oh, those people.
maybe me in a mood if I let myself get into all these things.
Yeah.
And I had so much more fortitude. Um I'm going to talk inside scoop. Guys, I promise I'll post this for you guys. It's a no-brainer. Can you get it on Amazon? Because I noticed it's a Barnes and Noble book.
Yeah, you can. It's actually a little cheaper to order directly from me. And if somebody wanted a signed copy, they could get that if they go to my
Oh, you were
website.
still doing that? You're still
Oh
doing
yeah,
that?
I will. I'm going to continue to. I'm having so much fun, like putting my little
Good.
stickers and signing them. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. So they can still get them through my website. But yeah, absolutely, you can order from Barnes and Noble and Amazon.
I really relate to the fun thing because I happen to know that you have 400,000 people have watched your TED Talk. But I also can imagine that you're like, I want to talk to these people. Where are they? And so when you have somebody who says, I want to know more about you, you're like, I know because I've had this experience firsthand where I'm like, I put a lot of my heart into this book. Like, if you want to know me, and then, and if you want to write to me directly, I can connect with you. It's kind of what I just said about the Shazam. Like, I'm not surprised that you like to order it directly and that you can write a little note and make a human connection. I'm gonna brag about my group member, my guys out here, like integrity. I keep using that word. These are energy healers walking their walk in all aspects of life because I just like you said, angels are everywhere, like angels, energy workers. I just love to be able to connect in. I happen to do energy work in my office. I also wear a lot of different hats, but I just love that we're all wearing different hats out there. You included, Scarlett, being an energy healer. So Um, I could jump to any of the chapters, but I like the title of What Would Henry Do?
Yeah.
That was just clever. Henry David Thoreau.
Yeah.
It was just clever. And I don't want to remember Henry David Thoreau by what his gravestone looks like, but now I can't unsee it because it was just so elegant the way you described. Actually, he probably did want to be remembered by that, you know? Can you just I don't want it to be my voice, I want it to be yours, to tell me the story about walking through the graveyard, why you were looking for his stone and what you found.
Yes, so I'm pretty enchanted with Concord, Massachusetts anyway, and enamored with Emerson and all the transcendentalists. But so Henry David Thoreau he had such an impact on me with his philosophy and about simplifying your life and simplifying just everything. And so, after going through an illness and being exhausted, really my goal was, okay, simplify not just the things, but the words and the thoughts and the drama, and just simplify everything. So, but years ago, I was in Concord and I was walking through Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, and I'm looking at all of these, like, ornate tombs and huge statues over graves, and I thought, oh my gosh, if I get to my leader, no, if I get to Henry and he's got this huge tombstone and it's ornate, come on, I want him to be that guy that I know him to be. So after passing all of these just fancy, beautiful, expensive tombstones, I arrived to Henry David Thoreau's grave, and there's this tombstone, literally about this big.
Oh, thank you for showing me the size because I needed to see
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
about this big,
Uh-huh.
plain, and it just says Henry. And I thought, there it is. It just
All is right.
it just had such an impact on me. And it's funny because in my mind, like, I just had someone come over and give us a quote on a new bathroom for, well, it'll be, $45,000. And I thought, what if I went to Henry and said, what do you think, Henry? It's gonna cost us like $45,000 to redo this bathroom. And I know he would say, what do you plan to do in that room? This is really important. So it's just kind of a funny thing that I think a lot, like, about simplifying and letting life be just, take it away. It's too much. Like, let's relax.
Right.
Let's take a bathroom is fine.
Right. What would Henry do?
What would Henry do?
Can I just talk about the aesthetics of our Zoom meeting right now? Um, is anyone noticing that I've never been to Scarlett's house? Her walls are almost the same as mine. I got the white. I feel like we're almost like, in the same room.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
fine.
I'm breaking it up with a little art color right here, but the simplicity, I look like I'm spacing out, but we're connecting probably to Henry, right? And just feel like, keep it simple. You've got it right there. You've got your music. And yeah, good luck with the bathroom because I'm finishing up a construction project as well. And it's never what they quote you. And it's no harm, no foul, just everyone's
Yeah.
working with the information that they have
Yeah.
while they have it. And then the bigger story is to simplify, right?
Everything, plans, the day, all of
Napping.
it. There's the napping chapter. Yes, the very,
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's kind of it's a rebellion in society to go, post this. I napped today. And then I sat in my yard and I pet my dog. I mean, that's just not going to make it on Instagram, but really, like, it's kind of the self-care rebellion in a way. It's like, let's normalize a little bit of nothing.
So true. And you spoke about the friend that you called that said, I watched a bee walk up and you can normalize it with your friends, can't you?
Mm.
And just be like, what did you do today? And be like, I took a nap. And you'll have a good friend say, good for you. Yesterday I did something that was the opposite of taking a nap, but it was kind of beautiful and I definitely wouldn't post it. I I decided about 3 o'clock in the afternoon that I wanted to go to a meeting out at Williamstown, which is the theater festival that I worked at. I have some workings of some art project with the theater that I'm working on for the near future. And I was like, I should go to that meeting. It would be good to just check in. I wouldn't mind a 3 hour drive. It would be kind of peaceful for me. I enjoy driving. Not everyone will say that. And not every day am I enjoying driving. But just to bring it to like a fine point, I got there and I sat in an empty theater. I should not have been let in because there was no meeting. There was nobody there. I sat at Williams College in an empty theater, staring at the ghost light for a half an hour, only to find out that the meeting was at 8:30 a.m. and not 8:30 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
And I share that story not to be funny and certainly not to be self-depreciating. I share it to say I enjoyed every minute of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was more powerful for me to sit in my old theater that I'm very familiar with, that's packed with memories. Unfortunately, it's been renovated, so my memories were like ghosts. I had to like rework the walls back again, but I knew where I was on the in the vortex of my life and the stars above me. And I was like, maybe I'm supposed to be right here. And maybe I knew damn well I was going to a non-meeting, and maybe I just needed to sit here for a half an hour. Does
It's
that
rare.
sound strange?
It's rare time. It's rare time to just sit and just, okay, I'm just gonna be here.
Yeah.
Just, you know, nothing
Sitting
is
in, yeah.
anything. There's a lot of something in the nothing. And to find that space, I feel really like, I really like beat the system is when I can just be in nature and not be on my phone or not, when I leave my phone at home, I just feel like, so silly. But, really just trying to be well. And, what you were saying something earlier about those higher emotions and the ineffable, but that book is sort of, you know, it's not about toxic positivity or denying a negative emotion, but I just don't want to wallow in things I don't need to be wallowing or marinating myself in toxic emotions. Like I want to feel them and let them serve their purpose. And then I want to say, can I bring these higher experiences? Can I choose these higher experiences today? I mean, yeah, today might be really hard and today might really be scary, but there's room for gratitude. There's room for joy and laughter. Anxiety, depression, and worry cannot survive it.
No, no. And it comes in, and laughter arrives spontaneously and unexpectedly. I always see it with my session, Scarlett. Um, and I see it, I'll just say again, unexpectedly, where I did not mean to be funny. I just will point something out that's like self. One of my favorite stories of funny, not funny, was a client who I actually did this deep meditation with her to ask herself what her brother would tell her if he could be here, because he had died suddenly and she was bummed out and she missed him. And we were in this very precious, delicate part of the session. I'm above her head, so above the seventh chakra. And I did this thing. Many of the people know that when I do it, it's like I'm just going to kind of count you down 3, 2, 1, and then be very disciplined and just take the first message you're getting. Don't wonder where it's coming from. Just like it could be coming from your cells or from the cosmos. Just take what it is. But of course, the nature of the work I do, everybody, Scarlett and everyone, is I don't know. It's just good. I don't know. So I did 3, 2, 1. Silence, nothing. And in my brain, I'm like, silence is beautiful. And another beat went by. And then all of a sudden she said, come on. And I was like, did I do something wrong? Because it was like, come on. And she said, and then she started to just laugh hysterically. And I said, what is happening right now? She said, I just decided to just straight on ask my brother, are you okay? Are you going to be okay? I'm so sad. Are you, you know, I didn't get to say goodbye. She's like, I was just doing all this like sister stuff. And he did the brother stuff. And he's like, come on, stop it. And then she couldn't stop laughing. And if I'd ever scripted that or asked that to be the answer or anything, you can't make you can't make it up, and you can't make up a hearty laughter too. And she was like healed for good from that. Like she keeps reporting, she's like, he made me laugh. That's what it was. Like the memory, the spirit, the mediumship, whatever it was, she got a laugh from him, and then boom, everything is back together again, right? The connections are remade.
In the
And
most simple
yeah.
way. It felt so undeep and like so perfect.
Yeah. I wanted to say to you too that this was another thing. I'm just like, this is just so what did I call, guys, when I was talking to Scarlett, texting her, and she's like, do I need to get dressed up? Which, by the way, you look gorgeous. And I'm still in like whatever t-shirt and sports bra. I said homegrown casual, right? So we were texting back and forth, and I was thinking about what I just read about emotions and, you know, being homegrown casual and everything. Homegrown is what made me think of it. And then I picked up the book. Divination happens all the time, and I was reading about how you said that you think the smiley face was created in Southern California.
Yes.
I'm going to brag. It was created in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Oh, it was. Oh, that's
Hometown by a guy named Harvey Ball. And I can't imagine a place in America that's more of the opposite
right.
of Southern California, which I thought was kind of poetic getting ready for our call. Because backstory, everybody, Scarlett says that she grew up in Southern California, sunny days, and your quote was, "It's probably where the happy face was invented." And then I was like, alas, not sunny days at all. And over in Worcester, Massachusetts, and that's where the smiley face, which we know wasn't invented. It's hieroglyphics. It's this face and smiley face. But the guy who, leave it to guy in Worcester to patent the yellow face with the black smiley face, and his name is Harvey Ball. And the reason I know his name is because once a year they have a Harvey Ball where you go dancing, and it's a celebration of the smiley face, the Harvey Ball.
Nice. Good to know.
You know, I don't know if you're going to get through a day without knowing that.
I think it was ironically, no. Yeah, that's good. They probably needed a smiley face more than California did.
I don't know. I just had to get that out there.
That's funny. Well, thank
I'm
you. I
loving.
should have researched the smiley face invention.
I was afraid. I was afraid that if I said that, it was going to sound like I'm correcting you, and it's more like a little bit of tidbit. Scarlett, I'm cool too. I actually, I have a
Yes.
little bit of thing to offer you.
Always do. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, you're so generous. You're so generous. You already gave us this beautiful TED talk, and then you sat down and decided to write a book, and I love the title of it. What if it all goes right? I'm holding it up because I just love the title. I love it all. Everyone, I recommend book people get the books that you right now. Just by the way, no coincidence, no coincidence. This was the book we talked about last week, right? The Tao of Pooh. You quote Winnie the Pooh when you're talking about the napping, right? This
Yeah.
gentle, beautiful energy that can pass us by if we don't just slow down. I feel like that's your most beautiful message you have for us.
Yeah. Yeah. It is true. I mean, just marveling in the smallest things. They're just, like I feel almost, silly saying them, but just, just sunlight in winter, the warmth of the sun in the winter. I'm like, oh, that was today. And just being with my kid, and, my cat comes up and snuggle. I mean, it's the smallest but most wonderful things that really make us feel those moments. We need to take those moments. It's the little things. It's the little things.
Mm-hmm.
The big things, really. Yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, but the napping thing, I think we could even get competitive with that in this society. Like, I'm gonna nap so hard. You're killing that whole napping thing.
I'm gonna post about napping now because I feel challenged.
Totally. But yeah, it was a labor of love, and also, getting to sit every day at a cafe and write, that's my happy place. And to just reconfirm like all the things that I'm trying to implement in my life to live more well and more deeply and more intentionally, or is
Well,
the say more deliberately.
yep, more deliberately. I mean, you gave us a beautiful tool here. It's such a beautiful takeaway. And we can't all be songwriters, but I like having the heart of a songwriter. When you were describing just the little things just a moment ago, I was like, gosh, here's a songwriter. You just know the words, you know. How else can you write a song without being really, really specific, right? You got to really feel into it. I have no idea uh the majesty and the magic and the science that goes into putting notes together. You do a beautiful job helping us respect how we receive it, you know. But I will forever ever be grateful for that TED talk so that I can appreciate the songs of my life, right? You called it the soundtrack of our life. And I am going to answer the question I asked you, which is yes, I believe that music is energy. It's one of the highest forms of energy healing. I
Yeah,
just do. I just believe it is. And yet I'm a fan and not a producer of it, but I'm a fan. And in many ways, a dancer. I could dance to it. And we want to make sure that we get more live music in our life as well,
yeah,
just so that we hear it in that pure way that can't be replicated.
right. That's right.
So I'm actually feeling like that beautiful, peaceful energy. I'm so grateful for this friendship. And I really wanted to celebrate your book coming out, but more importantly, I wanted my group to be able to celebrate these bigger connections we have. I often say when we're talking, I was like, we have no idea how powerful we are when good hearts come together. I think everyone has a good heart, and I mean everybody, but that we come together with the intentionality of the good heart and the creativity and that bravery. Um, and I guess I just wanted to call you and say thank you.
Well, thank you for, I mean, Hillary, you're in the book, you're in the acknowledgments, and you're in the book. And I, was open to trying Reiki and ended up going, oh, wait, hold on. This is who is this magical human? And I think everybody wants to adopt you as their friend. So, I very carefully use the F word around GB, the friend word, because, I'm sure everybody wants to adopt you. But
Oh,
as I've told you, you've been so important to me that I want to wrap you in bubble wrap and hire bodyguards because you were just this gift and this magic person that was just so right on with your intuition. It really helped me be calm and get through, treatment and still, there's more to learn from you. And I just feel like it's pretty special when you feel like I have a magic person in this world. And I know it's
mm.
pretty great. Not everyone can say that.
um, I will take that. I will wrap that in bubble wrap. And you've said that to me, and actually, I feel like what you said is so generous and so beautiful. And actually, maybe that's what we're supposed to be doing for all of each other because we're all energy workers. We're all magic. I happen to do it for a living. I happen to have the honor to be able to do it for a living, which is where it gets more identifiable, right? Um, but yeah, just that softness, that image of, and we've talked about angels with this group. So when you say guardian, security guards, um, in the breakdown, there's another book called Invoking Angels, where this brilliant rabbi, he is the specialist on angels. He breaks it down from like all the traditions, and he's like, what we have is we have Michael on our right, Gabriel on our left, Raphael was the healer at our back, and Uriel at our front. So you're describing probably what you're seeing in the essence as you're healing and evolving. You're like that. I want that for everybody. And that is for everybody. So you want you help remind me to wrap myself in bubble wrap and be aware of the angels around me. And I hope I help remind you that as well.
Yeah.
I love me my bubble wrap. So playful too.
Yeah.
Great image. It's a great image. I hope you have an awesome day. I am heading up into my day, going back into my day, but thank you for taking this time.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
what you, yes to you always, everything, you know that.
yeah. Okay, so my people are gonna be like, hey Hillary, don't rush. So real quick, I know you have a podcast. What's your podcast called?
Oh, it's called What's in a Song.
What's in a song? Okay. We'll post the book on the Facebook page, but it's called What If It All Goes Right? And then is your website your name?
Yeah, scarletkeys.com.
Okay, and keys is spelled like a key to a door, Keys, no extra E. Scarletkeys.com. Um, and so we got your website, we got your book, and then just go to TED Talk and type in Scarlet Keys. It's trending and it's been trending since December. And you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I know her. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This was awesome.
You're the best.
You're the best too, Scarlett. Have a great day, and I'll catch you later. I'm actually just gonna straight out say goodbye, and then they'll stop recording for everybody else. Take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.